Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records and reviewing the brand new Alice Cooper album today. Came out on July 25th of 25, called The Revenge of Alice Cooper. Awesome album cover. This is produced by Bob Ezrin, who of course produced some of the great albums of their catalog from the heyday. So Ezrin is back, and the original Alice Cooper band is back, minus Glenn Buxton's guitar. Glenn Buxton passed away in 1997, but we do have Dennis Dunaway on bass, Neil Smith on drums, Michael Bruce on guitar. We have some special guests on some of the songs. Again, Bob Ezrin produced. You know, kind of the fear when some of these reunion type albums come out is that they're overproduced and overdone and cheesy. This is really good. You know, they released 3 singles. They released Black Mamba. I remember liking that when it came out a few months ago. And then Wild Ones and Up All Night. Maybe Up All Night I didn't like quite as much. So I was fearful of this 14 song album and how I was going to like it. 54 minutes. So every song is pretty concise. There's one 6-minute song that we'll get into. This is good. It's really good. Let's go through it track by track. We'll talk about it in depth here. Again, 54 minutes. Came out last Friday. The Revenge of Alice Cooper, produced by Bob Ezrin. Opens up with the first single that they released called Black Mamba. Murky, creepy, spoken word by Cooper. Kind of lurking around the edges, and this Black Mamba that's in bed with you. Gritty, grimy, greasy, vintage, absolutely killer. Robbie Krieger guest stars on lead guitar. Robbie Krieger from The Doors, obviously. An awesome opener and an awesome lead single. Wild Ones is next. More of a straightforward rock song. Love the production on this whole album by Bob Ezrin. It's easy to miss on a reunion. You know, you could do a reunion with stuff. How many reunions have we had over the years where it hasn't worked? This really worked. Neil Smith is an absolute beast on drums. By the way, Black Mamba is written by Michael Bruce, Alice Cooper, and Bob Ezrin. Dunaway gets a writing credit on Wild Ones with Cooper and Ezrin. The next song, Wild Ones, is just a really cool song. Up All Night, again, Bruce, Ezrin, and Cooper on the writing. Kind of a double entendre that it will be up all night. I'll stay up all night, right? Girl, you should be paying me. You should be the one paying, because I can keep it up all night. Okay. You know, again, you could get kind of corny there. It works. It's fun. It's loose. There's an edge to it. There is a confidence here. Yeah, he's 77 years old, Alice Cooper is. And I'm sure his bandmates are too. But it doesn't feel like that. It feels fresh to me. The next song, number 4 song, is called Kill the Flies. Again, Ezrin, Neil Smith this time, and Alice Cooper on writing it. Just freaking love this. It's spooky. It's kind of a throwback. This whole album kind of said that throwback thing. Hooky as hell. Kind of a doo-woppy vocal thing. Harmonies, like a 60s style doo-wop a little bit. Again, this could get really hokey, but it doesn't. It works. The next song, One Night Stand, Ezrin, Smith, and Cooper on writing. Airy. Has that secret agent man thing going on. A little vibe of that. I love Cooper's different vocal tones. You know, some of the songs I'm like, is Alice singing this? Alice Cooper has different falsettos, different vocal tones, different characters that he plays within these songs. Great guitar work. Blood on the Sun is next. The Dunaway Cooper song. It's the longest song. It's 6 minutes long. Maybe it's the best song. Again, the production sounds vintage to me. There's a long instrumental break. There's like a false ending to the song, then there's this guitar break. And again, it's surprising that they do that because that's not how songs work nowadays. You don't have these long instrumental passages like you did in the 70s. Everything's about radio, everything's about short and sweet. But it's hooky and short song. Then there's this instrumental passage. Then you get back in the song. Blood on the Sun's a top track for me. Crap That Gets in the Way is next. Freaking love it. Ezrin, Smith, and Cooper again. Love the lyrics. Tongue-in-cheek and fun. Talks about smoking dope in the garage when he's young. Learning how to play guitar. And now he's still playing guitar. And his wife maybe doesn't like it, but maybe she's dead upstairs. Maybe he should check on her. Maybe he should just bury her. You know, it's kind of like weird and creepy that way. Makes you feel a little uncomfortable, but that's what Alice Cooper does. Famous Face is next. Cooper and Bruce on maybe not my favorite song. Maybe that's a song on a 54-minute album that could be eliminated. Michael Bruce takes the lead vocals there. Still good, but it's just not quite as quality. Money Screams is next. Bruce, Smith, and Cooper wrote this. Vintage again. Love this track. Kind of this glam punk thing going on. Crunchy guitars. Feels authentic. Again, doesn't feel forced. Doesn't feel like they're trying to go back to this era. It just sounds like 1973 or 1971. Money Screams is a cool song. What a Sid is next. What a Sid, S-Y-D. Dunaway Cooper. Vaudevillian strut, like this vaudeville strut. There's an ode to the Cab Calloway of odie, 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 that type of thing. But this vaudeville strut, like he's walking around maybe with his top hat and getting into some trouble. Just lots of variety on the record. You know, so many records. I just got done. By the way, check out my channel. Subscribe if you like this content. Yesterday I ranked the discography of Journey. And those later post-Steve Perry albums, there's no variety on those really at all. It's all this going for that escape sound. This album's got tons of variety on it. I did enjoy doing the Journey discography ranking, though. Intergalactic Vagabond Blues is next. Jay Giles meets vintage Alice Cooper band vibe. Some harmonica by Alice Cooper that sounds really cool. Again, retro 60s with backing vocals and guitar tones. You know, what makes great music of the 60s and 70s? Great backing vocals. Lots of different type of backing vocals. Not just repeating the same thing. Maybe somebody's doing a ooh la la thing. Really cool. Intergalactic Vagabond Blues. What Happened to You is next. Buxton actually contributes guitars. Of course, he's been dead. Glenn Buxton, lead guitar player of the Alice Cooper's band, has been dead for 28 years, since 1997. But they were able to incorporate some of his guitar work onto this song. Has a New York Dolls vibe to it. Has some piano like they would do in the Dolls. Really works for me. I Ain't Done Wrong is next. Written by Keith Relf from the Yardbirds and Cooper. Blues song, more harmonica by Cooper. Maybe it doesn't need to be on the album. Maybe you could eliminate that song and Famous Face. Maybe if you want to trim it down to a 12 song album at 48 minutes, 47 minutes. And then last, See You on the Other Side. Not to be confused with the late, great Ozzy Osbourne song, See You on the Other Side. Dunaway, Smith, and Cooper song. Great way to end the album. Great album. So happy for these guys. A couple years ago, in 2021, these guys helped on a couple songs from the Detroit Stories album by Alice Cooper, which is a cool album. Alice Cooper's been putting out great albums for years, even late into his game, late into his career. But this thing, 4.25 out of 5 stars. It's a great album. I almost bought it today instead of just printing off this cool thing because it's worth having in your collection. as a companion piece to their old classic stuff. Check out my channel. We talk about only great music every day. Peace out. See ya.